Good evening. Welcome in. We had a great Valentine's Day. There was some football game on Sunday that interrupted the rap concert that we'll talk about here in a little bit. We're going to Vols.
Yes.
They got into quite a tizzy with the Cats, and also Georgia. This breaking news: Georgia sucks at basketball. So I don't know if you.
Yeah,
it's a must,
especially during the off season.
And with the Super Bowl halftime performance, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of our favorites, all of that good stuff. So, without fellas, the show's brought to you by BetOnline.ag. It's the number one place for all your sports betting needs. We hope you hit on your Super Bowl. Did not take the under, and that hurts your parlay. So, what you need to do, same thing I did, is I headed over to the website. You can use your mobile device as well. Sign up. We got some Olympic stuff that you can bet on, Vegas casino games. Of course, there's basketball, hockey, boxing, UFC as well. BetOnline is the fastest, easiest way to wager on all of your favorite sports and play all of your favorite with the basket Vols last night with them in Kentucky. Things got a little dicey. Jeb, before I get into that with you, a couple scores from the first half. I'd be interested to see if that holds out or not. Scottie Pippen Jr., the leading scorer for Vandy. Bama, 5-point victors over Mississippi State. Get in line. Everybody's curb stomping Georgia in basketball right now. So
it's all Alabama.
Go figure. Some other scores from last night. Squeaked by Florida as well. So those are your scores around the league. The most intriguing was that 76-63 victory.
I actually missed the first few minutes of the game, and apparently I missed a lot of fun. So I was kind of disappointed that I didn't see that because by the time I came in, Tennessee had started pulling ahead. I had them pretty handily, but yeah, there were what, 3 technical fouls, I think, at least a couple of them real early in the game.
There was a nice little skirmish there at the end of the bench. One of the Kentucky players took exception to a Tennessee bet, but I guess there was some bad blood left over from the last time they met. So. Makes sense, right?
Well, Kentucky's been pretty dominant in history, but Tennessee has been beating them a lot lately. So, yeah, I can understand they're getting a little frustrated.
Yeah,
I love it, though. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it looked like a fun game. One of those things that Tennessee was kind of clowning, took it, and didn't explain it, didn't do anything, but the checkerboard became a legit thing because they deemed it a legit thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Kentucky just kind of seizes whatever they want, man. They kind of just go and say, "Hey, we're Kentucky. We're gonna seize the checker."
Actually, Tennessee pulled into tie with them in the SEC right now, so
yeah,
made it even better.
I bet. I mean, hell, everybody's got a nice conference, and I'm interested to kind of see what or hear from what Vinny would have to say. We didn't do a best Beast of the East this week. I gave us all a chance. So we did not do a show with Vinny and Israel, but, I mean, Kentucky basketball, I mean, teams wins, they come and go in the regular season.
Oh, yeah.
One bullet that I just completely dodged is me and my wife do not even a little bit celebrate Valentine's Day. If weekend before, we'll do all of that, and we'll say we love you and, get flowers the whole 9 yards, but not on that day.
On Friday night. We're going out to dinner on Friday night. So,
Cheesecake Factory.
Of course. No, we're going to Del Frisco's now.
Makes me sad is Rodizio's in downtown Nashville is gone because it got blown up. I don't know if they rebuilt that. But
I don't think they did. But it just has a bunch of places, so it probably came back better than ever. There's a place called Rotiers, Steve. I don't know if you ever had Rotiers. That place.
Not a place. I'd be big fan of that. Nashville kind of lost me whenever they decided to start calling things Sobro and things like that. And it's like, okay, you're trying to make your neighborhood sound special. It's not special. It just really isn't. It's a city neighborhood that.
No, it doesn't. What was your favorite barbecue place?
In Nashville?
Yeah. Judge Beans?
No, it's closed down. And that was probably my favorite at the time. But we had a little place in Smyrna that was Bob's Barbecue. That was pretty good.
Oh, gosh.
My favorite, Steve, did you ever have Edley's?
No.
It's a special occasion type deal. They don't do it all the time, but
yeah, most people do it. It's like a thing to do in Memphis, or at least
Franklin, I Bleav, called Dick's Barbecue. That's really good out there, and they have now brought one down here to Bridge Street. So
yeah,
it's really good.
This is true. In our little area, it does.
Yeah, we found a place that's somewhat passable called San Diego's, but that was like our fourth choice of all the Mexican restaurants in Winter Haven. Yeah. Caribbean food down here is pretty good. The actual Mexican food is actually, we're a long way from Mexico if you think about it. I mean, you don't get a lot of.
We have an authentic Mexican restaurant fixing to open up about 5 minutes from where I live, so I'm about to shut it down.
Okay. Authentic Mexican restaurant. El Mexico. El Mexico.
I grew up on El Mexico.
Never had it. I'm going to try it.
No, El Mexico is the name. This is a completely sarcastic thing. Don't go there for the food. Just El Mexico. Also, there's a place in Alabama I used to see whenever I drive home and go down named Justin.
Where was that sign at?
It's in North Alabama somewhere. It's probably somewhere around Coleman.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're
buddy. Confuse us, all right?
It's kind of like going to a spa that just says it's just called foot massage. I mean, they're right to the point.
Oh wow, there's a lot of foot fetish people who would go to their place for sure.
Yeah, I drove right on by. I'm not a foot guy. So
I don't understand all going on. I couldn't even be on the. I would be like, if I wanted to do that, I would go into a place, tell them, and get kicked.
Where the dude asked for the happy ending, and they draw back the curtain, and it's all these like kids staring at him.
Oh my
What's that movie?
You know, they made a show about it called The Client List that Jennifer Love Hewitt was the main star on that. So we skipped the Super Bowl and going to off the rails right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say we tried to do around the league, but
yeah.
No.
Ooh, that's a good question. In about 9 years, we'll be debut. We'll be.
I think it'd be too untouched in 10 years. Hell, you can't sack a quarterback without getting a penalty now. So
rise in the next 30 years the same as it did the previous 100 years, and I was like, 30 years, okay, I'm good. And in college, now we're going down the road to where we ruin everything. That's just what we do. We ruin absolutely everything. Now, I don't think that NIL, some people are going to get so reactionary about this. All of a sudden, they're like, okay, let's make players employees of universities and doing all of this stuff reactionary because whenever NIL.
Like everything, it kind of settles in and settles down. And, people, once they realize that there's 2,000 kids that don't have anywhere to go in the transfer homes yet, maybe I should just stay put. Maybe I should just take my guaranteed scholarship and let's go. I think the COVID, like, hey, you got to go. So, FCS is the level of play in FCS is going to be incredible.
It's good players that are former starters at one time.
The Missouri Valley Conference is about to get really good.
Mm-hmm. And absolutely kill JUCO, but it's going to help players find their level. The kid that Nigel Knott that went to Alabama, a cornerback that could never see the field, but in this situation, after 2 years, he could see the writing on the wall and transfer to a Southern Miss, to a Western Kentucky.
I don't care where you are, Steve. The NFL is going to find you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could be at Division III Mount St. Union.
Oh, just look at Walter Payton.
Find you. Yeah.
United States of America, I wouldn't want to see it. They basically practice football in a cow pasture. I mean, that's what happens.
The Titans have star safety right now, Kevin Byard from MTSU. So
Keelan Cole is NAIA.
Yeah, Kevin Byard is probably one of the best safeties in the league, too.
Ooh, Methodist school.
Hey, yeah.
So, Joe Flacco come from Delaware, so, I mean.
He transferred from Pitt. Everything?
Every time it rains, you get baptized.
Gosh. Steve.
Oh, Off the Rails starts later, Steve. Starts later.
God.
Oh, Lord, okay.
No, they sprinkle. Yeah. They sprinkle. They don't dunk.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The positive about being Baptist is every Sunday you have some kind of dinner after church.
With no dancing. And then when they go home, they drink like a fish.
Yes.
But they will not do it in public because somebody else could see them.
Yeah,
the Baptist religion. I grew up in it. It is one of the most hypocritical religions in the history of the world.
Yeah, we had a group. I guess every time it rains, I get baptized because I'm Methodist technically.
Yeah,
I'm Methodist and married into a Catholic family. No, that was a Catholic church.
That was a Catholic church. Okay, I
yeah,
you remember.
I had a Catholic wedding. My wife is Catholic. We didn't convert to Catholic. We're not Catholics.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work.
We're kind of like nothing right now. But if I had to put a denomination on myself, I would say that I'm still Methodist. We had a group when I was growing up. I was in high school. There's a group of parents. They called themselves the Margarita Methodists. They would get together and they would, drink margaritas every Friday night.
Yeah, well, I'm Episcopalian and I've had barbecue and beer in church. So.
Wow, what a religion!
Yeah.
Yeah, I got married in an Episcopal church.
Yeah, the one that I had beer in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, join in the chat and tell us your religious experience.
Yeah, I will not go back to because of all the kneeling down, and I have bad knees. And I was like, what is going on? And kneeling and standing and kneeling and standing. And then by the end of it, I was like, no more.
Can I find a church that has the snake charmer?
Either the snake has poisonous snakes in it, the church has poisonous snakes in it, or it's not really a church, right?
No, I don't do snakes.
Can I have the one where they
Winchester? Well, never mind.
Did they do that in Winchester?
I don't remember seeing snakes.
I'm looking for a church that serves Kool-Aid and they give you a fresh pair of Nikes at the door.
I thought he was talking about Jim Jones's little thing.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Flavor Aid. I still don't drink Flavor Aid, by the way.
Yeah.
At any religious function, it's like I look over there and it's like, nope. No, I'll drink sweet tea. I don't think they were choosing the sweet tea because they're from Mississippi.
Yeah, that's like the one thing you don't do in Mississippi.
No.
It's one thing you don't do in the Deep South.
No. Yeah. No. And don't bring unsweet tea.
Good grief. If you want to see a group of old women judge another group of women, show up to a church function with unsweetened tea. It's like, what are we going to do with that?
Yeah,
that's the thing, and they start to view it as like toxic waste. It's like we have to store it somewhere. And,
find some sugar, dump some sugar in it, and make it sweet.
We got to eat it with a fork and a knife here. Yeah, no, get out of here with that. I mean, I know you guys have, but have y'all ever? Do y'all know the feeling when you walk up to the sweet tea jug and you're all excited and you're like ready?
Oh,
and you got your plate of food. You go sit down. You have your nice. I mean, it just looks appetizing, right? You're about to die. It's got that perfect golden color to it. It's like almost like a ray of sunshine just beamed down on your glass of tea, and you take a sip and it's unsweet. You're just like, oh.
That's when
at that point you just want to choke somebody. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, no, that's not my happy place.
Unless you are my mother-in-law or my mother. Unless
a doctor said, Corey, you're gonna die if you drink another glass of sweet tea, I will not drink unsweetened tea. Even then, I wouldn't drink. I would just switch to water.
I would just die.
That's the only sugar I do right now.
Yeah. I mean,
I do the zero sugar with the soft drinks because I like that. I had a brain tumor. I'm not really worried about drinking soft drinks at this point. But sweet tea is something I'm not willing to give up. If I go to a Mexican restaurant, it's sweet tea with an enchilada. Oh, by the way, it was.
Oh no. Let me guess your name. Let me guess your order. Do you still order this? Okay, I'm on.
Okay.
Three beef enchiladas and beans.
Yes. And it got to the point at La Teresa that as soon as they saw me walk in, I didn't even have to say the order. They immediately started preparing. And when they sat me down with chips and sweet tea.
Yeah, they did that with you, me, and Tom. Like, they knew exactly what we wanted.
No, they did this like until I moved from Tennessee. I had a place over in Antioch that would do that.
La Teresa.
Yeah, it was another La Teresa. That's the reason I picked that one.
There was a different La Teresa? There was
two?
two?
They had more than one. They had not the one on Bell Road, but
they had another La Teresa. Okay.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it was over on Murfreesboro Road.
Well, the one on Bell Road, they would. This is all like shinfo for everybody else listening, but we would walk in and they would know. Hmm? They were like, "Oh, you get the usual? Like we get the same waiter."
Mm-hmm.
Like any changes? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was somebody else, we'd be pissed off. It was like, "What is this, amateur hour?"
Yeah.
This guy's gonna actually take our order. What? I got offended. Like, I want nachos.
Yeah. And then Corey would salt the nachos when it came in.
Mm-hmm.
I get nachos and a side of rice.
Yeah.
I throw a little salt, throw some pepper on there.
And there's a Mexican restaurant near where I work at, and me and a group of guys from work go there very often. And I mean, this is no lie, guys. We get our food in 5 minutes after we order. I mean, they are extremely fast. It's amazing. Yeah. So you eat in 10, 15 minutes, and I can go back to my car and take a 30-minute nap before I have to go back to work. So it's awesome.
There you go.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's super fast.
I mean, we just work it off playing ping pong, Steve.
That sounds fun.
Foosball.
I mean, foosball. I'm not even joking. We would finish all of our stuff before lunch so that we didn't have anything to do after lunch.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, that job was not difficult.
No.
It was a good way to waste 10 years. And after Coach O, man, I needed it.
Yeah, you did. I mean, God, the stuff that we did in that room was outstanding. The stories, man. The stories, bro.
Yep. Pat Thola in Dallas trying to run the room playing foosball.
Nope, not happening.
Yep, nope. That room was right next to us. Why do you think you would be good at? Yeah, that's our home turf.
It got to be like where we were the Sharks and they were the Jets.
Mm.
And they'd walk in and be like, "Oh, it's the video guys." Mm. And they'd walk in and we'd be like, "Ooh, it's the pit crew."
Yeah. And they did not want any with ping pong. They always wanted to play doubles because they didn't want to play me singles.
Yeah, Steve ran the room in ping pong.
I could see that.
Steve is. I thought for a little while that Steve was part Forrest Gump when it came to ping pong.
Well, back then, Rivals was an honorary Gump if you worked there anyway.
That is true.
That's
we all had a little Bama in us.
Yeah, they legit folded rankings for Alabama, and that's because of Shannon Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Lucky's at the wheel.
On 3, yeah. Lucky's at the wheel. Yes. I remember all that. Lucky's at the wheel. And then they sent us home, and that was so disappointing.
Oh.
That's when I started liking everybody better, though, because like you see them once a year at the pub conference.
Right.
Jeb, I'm glad you're trying to be the center of attention by having your face right in the camera.
Yeah.
Hang on. Tilt your head back a little bit. We need to count some boogers here.
Yeah.
1. Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Jeb shot's the opposite of mine.
Yeah. Steven's like 4 foot away from the camera, and Jeb's like right in the camera.
Yeah. I'm like from A League of Their Own. It's like, Martha, look, what a hitter.
Marla hoots.
Yeah. I can't zoom with mine, so I can either pick up the monitor or move it back, but then there's nothing back there. Or roll back and just take my mic with me.
Now you
there you go.
You're a professional.
Now kick your feet up.
Yeah. Take a knee like Eminem, so people can get upset and completely ruin their argument about taking a knee.
Yes.
Who cares?
Corey's like,
or
who
just
cares?
wearing an entire blue bandana like Snoop Dogg did.
Yep. All right, Super Bowl,
by the way,
Snoop
Dogg smoking weed before the performance. That shocked no one.
Yeah.
No.
What are you going to tell me? The sky is blue now?
Yeah. The grass is green. Aunt Martha wears a funny hat. Yes.
I think
Steve Ole Miss fan.
The New York Post, I think, posted that on Twitter. I was like, that's not shocking. I mean, this is not newsworthy.
A, it's legal.
Right.
B, it's Snoop Dogg. And C, all of the above.
Right.
It is legal in California, isn't it? I forgot.
Yeah.
The best part was like 50 Cent, and I saw all the jokes on Twitter about him being 75 cents and $1.
Yeah.
He's a full dollar now.
He's a full dollar. Yeah.
The memes of him hanging upside down are outstanding.
Yeah.
And he's still in pretty good shape. He just used to be so cut. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, no, that was. I mean, where do you guys rank that halftime show? What'd you guys think?
Oh, I loved it. I love that show.
A, I think it's funny because a whole bunch of people learned about their relatives that were in that age. The 45-year-old relatives, you got to know something about them that you didn't know. But I still think the best halftime show would be Garth Brooks. That needs to happen.
Yeah, I think so. Just for the sheer fact of like
not Nickelback
genres.
That would be like Shania Twain.
You remind me of what
singing the national
really
anthem. Although Nickelback and Shania Twain, I'd be down for that.
It's not like you to say sorry.
I was waiting on a different story.
This time I've forsaken.
All right, Jeb.
Giving you a heart worth breaking.
I think the reason a lot of halftime shows are like pop and stuff, though, is I kind of like the ones that get you up and moving. You know, I don't know, for some reason Garth Brooks seems to me like a lot of his songs are slower or not.
Garth Brooks is a master performer.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, I saw him at the Opry, and it felt like he was performing for me. And we were up in the balcony up to the right, and it was like, whoa, did you see that? He's waving at us. And he was like, no, he's not. He's just really good at what he does.
I saw him at Bridgestone, and I was exhausted. That's how energized he is.
You know, what kind of has shocked me is, Taylor Swift, she hasn't been on a halftime show yet, and she got away from country. When she went to the pop, I figured they would have caught her, and I figured that's why she went more to that genre, but she still hadn't done it.
Well, they're still trying to appeal, I think, more to the older males. I don't know, like our age.
That would appeal to older males.
Yeah, I worked at WSMV.
They wanted a show for millennials.
I worked at WSMV.
Yes, we are millennials.
For 3 or 4 years. And Jimmy Carter was the big music rep because every TV station around Nashville has a music rep. And you got to get a star. And I say all that to say this. I saw Taylor Swift before she got her teeth done.
Oh.
She looked like Steve Buscemi. They were all fighting for themselves.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Jesus.
Woo.
NordVPN. NordVPN.
Yes. Where's the Russian bots tonight?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, we must have. They heard about NordVPN. They heard that we wanted more peace of mind. All right, that's what NordVPN is here for, to get rid of the Russian bots. They give you peace of mind when you're online. With all the threats that you will face today on the internet, like Taylor Swift's teeth fighting each other, it's more important than ever to be sure that you have the best VPN you can get. Someone at Nord's just face palming really hard right now.
Yeah.
NordVPN is the world's best VPN service, offering the fastest connectivity, most servers, and next-gen encryption to make sure that everything you do online stays secure. Plus, you can use NordVPN on all your computers and devices, no matter the operating system. With NordVPN's unlimited bandwidth, you would never have to worry about slow connection either. It's good for you, Jake. And plans start at under $4 per month.
It's kind of a good thing Corey's saying that, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, I rectified my problem. Looks like Jake
I got
did
mine.
too.
Yeah.
So good for you.
NordVPN guys are probably like, why are we sponsoring these idiots? Like, how
they're going to go
happen?
off the rails with us.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the one dude that's listening to this ad is like digging our show. So grab your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/Bleav or use the code Bleav. That's BLEAV. You get up to 70% off of the NordVPN plan plus one additional month for free. It also has the risk-free Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee as well. So get on that. All right. And the Russian bots will not.
They're in the Ukraine. We're good.
Yeah, they're preoccupied. They saw that Israel's not here, so they went ahead and tuned in for a second. Nobody's in the chat today. All of our producers must be on strike.
Yeah,
what it is, we started late because of that weird Mozilla Firefox issue we were having.
Yeah, good job, Jeb.
Yeah, Firefox.
And so people just didn't want to tune in because we were 15 minutes late.
Yeah, so the actual game, what do you guys think of the actual game? I know there was a rap concert somewhere in there.
Well,
I discovered how much I legitimately hate the Rams.
Why do you hate the Rams?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's because in 2018 to go to the Super Bowl, they got away with a blatant pass interference that cost the Saints the Super Bowl.
Well, that's
okay. There we go.
I see.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't like it. Now, Matt Stafford, I like Matt Stafford. I like Kelly Stafford, by the way, for those who don't know, had a lighter version of the surgery that I had. So it was like 2 months before. So I was able to follow her and be in a positive frame of mind going into my surgery. Now, it turned out mine was much bigger. You know, she didn't lose her hearing. But it's still, I went into it with a positive frame of mind. And
that's good.
Yeah, this Matt Stafford. So he's kind of like, I don't know, like if Jesus played for the Patriots, like that.
I think Jesus' cousin did for a long time. Isn't that Tom? Oh, well, anyway. No,
it's Jesus' nephew, Tom Brady.
You don't like Aaron Donald? I love Aaron Donald for some reason.
Aaron Donald.
If you don't like Aaron Donald, you just don't like football. That dude is a machine.
I witnessed Aaron Donald get his ass beat for 4 quarters in the Birmingham Bowl of all places by Ben Still.
Well, he figured it out.
Yeah,
he took that ass whooping and decided he was going to be an 8-time Pro Bowler and a surefire Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not good, but I can't get that out of my head looking at him now. It also makes me judge people that whenever they look at a prospect, it's like, no, this is the NFL. That won't work. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald
good, it'll
shows
work.
you that.
Yeah, it will work. If he's good, it'll work.
And Aaron Donald is. He puts guards on skates regularly.
Yeah.
Seriously, now we might be ready to do NFL After Dark right here. But how great is it that the NFL has this many offensive systems?
Oh,
it wasn't that long ago when the Bills played the Cowboys. There were essentially 3, and whenever the Dolphins played the 49ers, there were 2, and in the 70s there were 1. I mean, it's been a slow evolution, but now there's like 17 different offensive systems. You got the Kyle Shanahan system. You've got the Sean McVay, John Gruden stuff. You've got the Andy Reid stuff. You've got the special stuff that they would never do for Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, the John Harbaugh stuff. I mean, that right there basically, whenever you do that, you just open a whole set of different players that fit what you want to do, instead of everybody competing for the same 3.
Yeah, nobody's taking a one-size-fits-all approach anymore, and even the same is true even with college football. Every single offensive coordinator, there's 32 different variations, actually. There's 32 different systems in the league. Now, there's the McVay system, but Zach Taylor has his own flavor to it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like born out of, it's in that same family, but it's not exactly Sean McVay system, which is not exactly the John Gruden system. It's kind of the best of the best, which the John Gruden system and the Andy Reid system come from the same Bill Walsh system.
Yeah, they're West Coast guys, but it's changed over the time. Over
it all
years,
morphs, which 25, even as much as 20 years ago, you couldn't think of morphing. It was either Air Coryell, West Coast, and then like the Smash Mouth, whatever.
Yeah, the pro style stuff.
Yeah, the pro style stuff.
By the way, on Peacock right now, there's a 6-episode documentary on Joe Montana. I recommend everybody watch that.
All right.
I need to check that out.
I just have to sign up for Peacock, don't I?
Yeah.
Well, talking about the evolution of the offenses, even though he didn't complete it, but in the NFL, you never see a wide receiver throwing a ball. Cooper Kupp threw one, and I think it was incomplete, but still,
it was.
That's just an the evolution.
Mm-hmm.
You used to never see a trick play like that in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, the Patriots did it for Bill Belichick was very adamant about if there's NFL Films does this Do Your Job documentary series. There's the Russian bot.
There we go.
They do this documentary series where they documented the Super Bowl win against the Seahawks, the Super Bowl win against the Falcons, and the Super Bowl win against the Rams. And it's called Do Your Job, and they chronicle that season, that postseason run, and behind the scenes and what they were thinking, where they got some stuff from. Nick Saban watched the Alabama LSU game and saw that Alabama displaced an offensive lineman and moved people around and created this displacement package that he used against the Ravens to beat the Ravens in the playoffs. Stuff like that. Ideas are just flowing, and there's not people that are too proud to get ideas from college and vice versa. So that's what I like to see from the NFL now. That's why I think the NFL is just booming right now.
Yeah, it's a form of zero competition, really. It doesn't matter where the idea comes from or what the idea is. If it's good, people will listen because they have to. Because if they don't, somebody else will.
Mm-hmm.
Also, by the way, Zach Taylor, it looks like he's copying Sean Payton. He's not from the Sean Payton system, but it looks like he's copying Sean Payton, especially with Joe Burrow.
It showed his overall record. It was 16-32, but in the playoffs he was 3-0 coming into that game. I was like, what the crap? He come from a bad place.
Oh, he got into a really horrible organization at their lowest point. They had just gone 1-15. They hire him. They go 2-14, and then they go
doubled their wins.
Then they go 5-11, and then I know, right? And then now they're in they go make a Super Bowl run. So
and they'll be back. That offense, that Cincinnati.
But you say that Dan Marino never got back. And Miami was always around, and everybody expected Miami to come back during that time. They never made it back to that game. And then on the other side of the coin, you've got Buffalo that went 4 straight years.
And didn't win a single one.
Dan Marino.
Beatrice Tracy says, blah, blah, blah.
Beatrice says, Vanoon Rent.
What's that one?
Your FYI. So they're correcting. This next one is correcting us.
Ukraine comment.
Yeah.
What's
the first person?
Now they're correcting our grammar.
But what's that first person? Bad bitch Nasario? No,
Bad bitch Nasario.
Yeah.
And then Beatrice Tracy, which sounds like the alternate for the Golden Girls.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
That is good.
And then Alma Newton. It's that's one of those you just look at it, it's like, almost had it.
Yeah, almost. And Corey, you brought it up, but if talking about the Seahawks and Patriots Super Bowl, if the Seahawks would have ran it on the 1 foot line, they would have absolutely won that Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
You got beast mode. Like I'm not usually one to completely question play calls and stuff. I mean, I will occasionally, but this is one of those times. Like, what are you doing? You got too cute.
And Pete Carroll's a great coach, but that's going to go down as the worst call ever in a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Saints hired Pete Carmichael today, by the way, as the offensive coordinator.
Who?
Oh.
Pete Carmichael, the guy that's been there for the last 7-8 years.
Oh,
he's the guy. Whenever Sean Payton was suspended coaching Pee Wee football.
I mean Kevin James.
Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator that was actually calling the game during that year.
Oh, okay.
Who'd they hire their head coach, sir?
Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator.
Defensive coordinator, yeah, okay. So,
This is one thing. Now, I get why the Rooney Rule's in place and things like that, but the Saints did not want to change at all. They have to go through this dog and pony show with their interviews to prove that they gave Brian Flores a chance, for instance.
Right.
I think they really did give him a chance, though.
But they knew from the beginning they were going to hire Dennis Allen. And they were trying to keep this as close to what it was as they could. Now, Ryan Nielsen, by the way, the defensive line coach, time for a little story time.
Story time.
Story time, boys and girls. Story time.
He came down to the video room.
Translate in Russian.
Yelling, like just completely losing my head, red face, the whole 9 yards. And Ryan Nielsen is a 6'5", 6'6", 250-pound guy. He's a big dude. If he got his hands on me, it would be over. Okay? And he's coming down here yelling about how he can't conduct his meeting because the video equipment doesn't work. I walk down there, cut on the monitor, and just walk out of the room. Because nothing was wrong with what was going on except the monitor was off. Now,
that's why they hate us.
Yeah. Ryan Nielsen and I had a interesting relationship. And I would just needle this guy intentionally, really. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, what's the worst that can happen? If he throws a punch, I'm a millionaire,
Yeah.
And because he would do things like that and come in and do and kind of show off and do whatever he needs to do. So, I was forced by Coach O to do what he called a coach of the day. And that coach of the day would be taking a coach that is on staff and photoshopping it on some kind of a character so the team could all laugh at him. That's what it was. It was a complete bully move by Coach O, but it was completely designed to make fun of one of the assistant coaches on staff. Well, Ron Nielsen was from Southern California. And Becky immediately saw that he looked like Vanilla Ice.
Oh my gosh.
And she did a Vanilla Ice thing with a Rush Baby thing on there. I mean, nothing. The kids went nuts when they saw it. It was fantastic. So as soon as it was over, he came down and threatened to...
Is Becky trying to get you killed?
Well, that's what it said. As soon as it was over, he came down and threatened to kick my ass. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So he did it a couple more times, just completely unbearable. It just wasn't nice. So we had a high-ranking boosters meeting where all the coaches met, and part of that was they got a highlight video. Well, part of that highlight video that I cut was 5 seconds of Rush Baby on the screen, so they could all see it too. So he came and threatened to kick my ass again. And then again, he threatened to kick my ass again. And at one point, I decided to turn in my 2 weeks' notice and get out of there because it was just untenable. But before I left, I went into all the video for the upcoming season, renamed it to where it looked like every other piece, and intercut all through every game highlights, Rush Baby through the video. They couldn't find it to take it out, but it would just show up at any times when they were watching film. And that was my little FU to Ryan Nielsen on my way out.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If he'd just been a good sport about it, none of that would have happened. And this podcast is probably not existing because
if you want to,
it's still an Ole Miss.
Yeah, you want to threaten physical violence, deal with the BS that comes your way. Because I will be petty forever. If anybody knows me, I will be petty forever, and I have no problem with it.
Those are facts.
Yeah, but him threatening to kick my butt over something my wife did, and really mad at her for doing it, and that's kind of a problem. And he's the defensive line coach for the Saints now, and it is what it is. It was funny. Wow. I'm glad I did it. Because the best thing was him. Apparently, I had one guy after I quit that would just randomly call me, and it's like, "Hey, what is this picture called in the system? Because I can't find it." It's like, I don't know. I think it's Ron Nielsen something, but I just named it like, Ole Miss versus Memphis play 003. When it popped up, so it looked like every other play that was in there. And you literally have to go through there. And I named it like 7 different things. So even if you got one, there's still 6 more that you had to dig through. So nice. Yeah, I'm petty as hell.
That's awesome.
Well,
I love that. I love that story.
Speaking of coaches that gave us trauma, I heard Alabama hired Derek Dooley. So y'all are going to win again next year, I'm sure. Offensive co-coordinator? I don't know.
Is Saban going too far with this coaches rehab program?
Just goes and grabs everybody.
But it's all analysts. Now this is when it comes to the 10 on-field positions, it's now 85 or 90% recruiting. Yeah. Ole Miss's coaches are all 33 years old because you need the energy to do it. And it's guys that you can recruit really well, and then you can relay what's told. The people that's behind the scenes that are analysts are actually doing the X's and O's work now. And, if you can relay what they figure out, you can be pretty successful in the scheme, no matter where you are. And it was Saban. Saban was one of the first to figure it out.
I mean this from the heart. Do not trust Derek Dooley's X's and O's.
I was going to say, we've seen that already, and look what happened.
I'm at the point where I'm almost take Tennessee next year. Games in Knoxville. Yeah. There's going to be mustard bottles and golf balls in that stadium.
Oh, God, yes.
And if that's a nice knife game, I'm telling you, it could be interesting for Alabama. It really could.
Did
because
you say knife game?
And Stetson Bennett's still the quarterback.
Game. Oh, no.
If we could have gotten any defensive help in the portal, I'd agree with you, but we got none.
Hey, it ain't over with yet.
So it's not over yet.
Yeah, no. Portal doesn't sleep, man.
No,
Portal doesn't sleep. I love
like
it,
Vegas.
by the way. That's the thing that I really love about this. And one of the advantages that I have against all the quote insiders around teams is that I see the portal for what it is. And I see that this has changed college football. And I understand what Lane Kiffin's doing because I've been inside a Pete Carroll system. Mm-hmm. I've actually seen that happen. I know how the thought process works. So you take those 3 things, I can piece together relatively quickly exactly what's going on. And that puts me in an advantage whenever Lane Kiffin doesn't talk to media. He hates local media because he blames them for the tarmac experience he had at USC.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had the coaches meeting, and I saw a report that said he went through the side door. Him and Brian Harsin went through the side door, and the rest of the coaches went through the front door. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, that's Kiffin. Brian Harsin is getting out of there. Yeah, Brian Harsin went in the side door just for keep cameras off his face. Mm-hmm. Doing all that fiasco.
Yeah, good grief. They were trying to perp walk that guy. They had nothing on him, and they're trying to perp walk that dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely embarrassing.
Since we last left, they completely fabricated all that stuff.
Made it all up, and just complete. There's no way this guy's there in a year. This guy's has to be looking at the first thing smoking.
Well, here's the thing about it. Even though he may not be there next year, we've all known it for a while, especially all of us on the show. But Auburn doesn't have a coaching problem. It has a booster problem. Mm-hmm. And he exposed that. So, maybe it'll get fixed. I doubt it, but
the fun thing they're talking about, one of the things that Saban did when he took the Alabama job was Alabama had a booster problem at one point too, and Saban kind of just like put them in their place. These winning games, do what they need to do, but there's no booster. They're trying to do that at Auburn right now, and it caused a mutiny after year one. And they're going to keep digging. Now, the fact that this one was fabricated means that almost Brian Harsin has carte blanche to do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to believe them ever again.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because they just assume they're trying to get rid of him. And I don't think Brian Harsin's Saban. That's not what I'm saying. But I think he's trying to do the same thing that Saban did. And I think a lot of people, Lane Kiffin's trying to do the same thing that Saban did. They're trying to get the boosters out of the program.
Yep.
To where you just can go on about your business. And NIL is actually going to do that because they're not going to be donating to the program. They're going to be donating to NIL and these collectives. And they're not going to have as much pull in the future because they're not going to donate to the school to get the perks that the pull comes with.
Exactly. Exactly. And the first Pac-12 job that opens up on the West Coast, I think Brian Harsin, see you. And
he ought to. He ought to.
Arizona State.
You think Herman's going to get fired?
He's not playing to win the game.
Well, the NCAA is all around Arizona State right now.
I think Jed Fish is going to get.
Not after year 2, though.
I don't know.
Although I like Arizona going back to the Desert Swarm type uniforms. I respect that move.
If they continue to be as pitiful as they are, I mean, they are downright.
I think they won a game or 2 last year, though.
They are worse than they were under Sumlin.
Well,
that's not saying much.
It's not. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
The thing you do with the coaching change, and you have to understand that there's going to be a system change in the coaching change, which means you're going to have players recruited to run their system, not yours. So in doing that, whenever someone gets gone, the team is going to take a step back because it's an 0-12 team going down to run a system that they're not prepared to run. And honestly, with the transfer portal and things like that, I think Arizona signed like a 4-star running back that was in one of the All-Star games, like a speed merchant.
Well, we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't show any improvement, I mean,
the weird one's Washington. That's the one I don't understand.
Well, they pruited themselves a little bit with Jimmy Lake. He got it like they hated that hire, and he did him a favor by putting his hands on a kid.
Yeah.
He tried to Woody Hayes it. Yeah.
Yeah, he tried to Woody Hayes the situation, so he did them a favor. He was terrible as a head coach.
Yeah.
I don't even know who they hired.
I don't either. But why would Chris Peterson pick that guy?
Right.
I mean, he was a good assistant, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that all those aggressive skeletons. I guess those were exposed when he became a head coach, and the best and worst in you come out as a head coach when all the pressure's on.
I mean, there's some coordinators that need to be coordinators because they're not great head coaches.
I mean, he was probably a great assistant under Peterson because Peterson had the thumb on him.
Right.
And and I think a lot of that,
it's like DJ Durkin. Like DJ Durkin gets his own program. He does all this weird crap, but he gets under Lane Kiffin, and you hear nothing about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's an assistant.
I imagine he was in his dress whites the whole time. DJ Durkin at Ole Miss just comes squeaky clean, all white uniform. There's no dirt on me. I'm doing this exactly by the numbers. Because I'm going to get out of here and rebuild my career because the strength coach decided to not do what he was supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play all these weird, like, nature videos all the time.
But that made sense.
Give my players PTSD.
at Maryland, he played shark videos all the time and shark attacks. And at Ole Miss, that's normal.
That's true. And
it is normal. Yeah. It is normal. But like
land sharks.
Go read hey Russians, if you can translate it. Go read about DJ Durkin. It's like disturbing reading about some of the stuff that he that went on at Maryland, the toxic culture that he had there.
Yeah. And also no football coach, present company excluded, Corey. I'm not saying this, but no coach that's a D1 head coach is normal. There's something.
It's all relative. They're all obsessive.
Yeah, they're wired a different way.
People.
And they view it as an easy way to get motivation, to do with recruiting, but it's all wired a certain way. And D1 coaches all are a little bit different. Lane Kiffin,
he's wired different from that even.
Yeah. I mean, he's a complete introvert, and he's that guy that can. He's the guy at the arcade that could just walk through Missile Command without even thinking about it, because he understands the patterns whenever he sees it comes down. He's that guy, but the football coach. If he wasn't a football coach, he would be being picked on because he's that guy in the arcade. I mean, that's what Lane Kiffin is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If Kirby Smart wasn't a head coach, he'd probably be. I don't know what he'd be doing.
Kirby Smart. Okay, we can play this game a little bit. Kirby Smart to me would be, if he wasn't coaching football, would be a really good used car salesman.
Mm-hmm. He'd probably own a dealership.
Yeah. It's like,
and he'd be the guy that partied with
what do I need to do to get you in a 2015 Taurus?
He'd be Daniel LaRusso. Catch my drift there. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep playing this game. Josh Heupel.
Yeah. Let's see. Go ahead, Jeb.
No, I have no idea. I don't know. Don't know him that well yet.
Josh Heupel would be an accountant.
Yes, he would be. All right, yeah. Nick Saban.
Lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah. He would be the lawyer prosecuting not whoever the Daniel LaRusso character was in My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, kids.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-hmm. All right.
2 Utes.
All right. Yeah.
Let's see. Sam Pittman. What is Sam Pittman?
Sam Pittman would own a barbecue restaurant in Northwest Arkansas.
And have a damn G-Box in it.
Yeah, and be a pit master.
Yes, absolutely.
Eli Drinkwitz. I feel like he'd be working in a lab somewhere.
7th grade math teacher or biology.
I was going to say lifeguard.
No. I would say he's working in a lab somewhere, like testing stuff. I don't know what stuff that is. Testing shampoo. I don't know. Let's see. Billy
Brian
Napier.
Billy Napier. Oh.
Billy Napier would be the guy trying to sell you crypto.
That's a good
one. And investing, even though you might not be willing to do it, but he is going to push it really hard. I don't want to quite jumping to NFTs, but he would be the crypto guy that's just, this is the future, bro. Get in while this is hot. You know the lead investors? Mm-hmm. Oh, never mind.
You know they have nutrition athletes of the week. They get recognized for drinking water, eating their veggies. Taking their Hulk Hogan gummy bites.
Everybody makes fun of Tom Herman for his P chart, the P levels of colors of what is a bad teammate. You see that all the time. And Tom Herman did that. That's a Navy thing. So the color of your P is like how good of a sailor you are. That's a military thing, by the way. But so as it gets more and more colored, that's the more dehydrated you are. Just by the way. That's what that chart means.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed your pee is supposed to be clear.
Mm.
But it's taking toxins out of your body, so it shouldn't be clear, like clear, should it?
Yes, because if you drink a ton of water, your kidneys are
know.
going to be overwhelmed, so it'll be less obscurities or whatever, improprieties or whatever going into the pee each time you go.
So we're talking about piss now on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are officially off the rails.
This
We've
is
been
the
off
anatomy.
the rails about 30 minutes.
This is the anatomy physiology segment of the show.
We talked like about two things on the Super Bowl for like 5 minutes, and the rest of the time has been off the rails.
And we also talked about 3 minutes for around the league.
Right.
So we got about 5 minutes total, and the rest of the time we've been off the rails. Yeah.
Oh boy.
We might as well just go off the rails next week just for the whole segment.
Yeah.
We
do have the opening of college baseball next week, so.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That'll last about 5 minutes, and we'll be off the rails.
Softball.
We'll be talking about the dude. We'll be talking about the little league coach that was just going off on Mike Trout.
Oh no, I got an idea. Real quick before we end the show today, let's do our quick baseball preview. And the baseball preview is SEC softball about to be better than Ole Miss or SEC baseball?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
When Oklahoma comes in.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Oklahoma and Texas both are really good in softball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There have been years that SEC softball, every team that plays SEC softball, that's 13 because Vandy doesn't do it, has made the NCAA tournament. Yeah, they just make it to Omaha in baseball with their 37 scholarship athletes.
Yeah.
Omaha!
So, yeah, okay, that's done.
Yeah.
And that, folks, is our baseball preview.
That's our SEC baseball preview. We talked softball for 1 minute.
Good day, folks. Yeah.
What do you think, Russian bots?
Brought to you by Stoli Vodka.
Before we go though, Steve, I like your shirt. Their draft is what, the 22nd, I think?
What's that?
I think their draft is the 22nd.
Yeah, the draft is a little under a week away. And the way they have it set up is you only can be drafted if you have a signed contract in place. So they're not competing with NFL kids, and they just want to put a product on the field this year. Also, they did one of the coolest things ever in the fact that the regular season will be played in Birmingham, and then they're moving the playoffs and the championship game to Canton, Ohio, to that stadium.
Oh wow.
And so they're going to play it right outside the Hall of Fame. So the symbolism there, I really like that. I'm really hoping that Bandits are worth watching. I do like the New Orleans Breakers. They hired Noel Mazzoni as their offensive coordinator. I know Noel. I worked with him.
I'll be watching Michigan go 500.
Yeah. Wait, was Noel Mazzoni, was he Cut's offensive coordinator?
No. He the first year he was O's offensive coordinator. Whenever O messed up and couldn't get Lane Kiffin, and he was also Tommy Tuberville's offensive coordinator, who followed him the whole time he was at Ole Miss, and then went to Auburn with him.
Gotcha. Yeah, I his son, him and his son coached together at Arizona. I heard his son talk at a clinic.
Okay.
And that was
that's right. Mazzoni went to A&M with someone, and then went to Arizona with the someone crew. Okay.
Yeah. Taylor Mazzoni was his name. Coached wide receivers. So it was a good talk. Great talk. See you out there. What did y'all cook anything for the Super Bowl? Did y'all have any sort of special?
Yeah, we cooked several things. We made like wings with different sauces depending on what you wanted. Potato skins, these little cocktail weenies and barbecue sauce were real good.
Oh yeah.
I almost done. There's something else. What am I forgetting? Oh, we had like a cheese dip and dip Mexican, chips and all that kind of thing. So chips and dip.
Thanks for the invite.
Deviled eggs, just random things.
I don't think y'all could make the commute.
Yeah, a long way.
I mean, because the Russian bots just bought me my private jet, so yes, I could have.
Hey.
Well, my mother made the commute. She got to spend the whole time judging me.
Beatrice is very, very rich and loves the show.
I nailed that with the alternate for the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
That was great.
Got all her money
We
from.
nailed that.
She had a holding deal with the Golden Girls. That's where she got all her money from.
Do you know George Clooney debuted on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember him on Roseanne, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, he played like a cop that showed up, and he was the secondary character.
Oh.
Barely had a speaking role.
Crazy.
Yeah, Roseanne must have been a step up.
It still trips me out that Bruce Willis became an action star based on his performance in Moonlighting.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Say, speaking of Moon, any interest in watching that new movie? Oh, was it
Moonfall or something like that?
Moonfall, yeah, Moonfall.
Yeah, it looked interesting to me, but
Yeah.
I've barely seen any of the previews.
It's got Halle Berry in it, so I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Oh, John finally got on.
Hey, John. Hey, John. Where you been?
You're an hour late.
Just in time to say bye.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Bye, John. He was great in Syriana.
Yeah.
He's great in ER, too.
He's great in The Bandit, Smoking the Bandit, too. Was that George Clooney?
No.
Voot. Kenny Mainsky. Voot. Borders Patrick. Remember that commercial, Steve? Where they did it in all the different languages?
Hey, John joined us right here at the end. Thank you, John. It was just you and the Russian bots, buddy.
Steve, are you on delay?
Yeah, I just looked at the chat.
Well, we talked about that 5 minutes ago when he joined.
Steve is on a 5-minute delay.
Yeah.
Not the first time. Okay.
He had a bunch of cuss words he had to bleep out, so he put us on a 5-minute delay. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, off the rails. I mean, we go off the rails.
Seriously.
I did ribs. We did, chips and salsa, ribs, buffalo chicken dip,
Nice.
pizza crescent rolls.
Yeah, we just did pizza.
All right, I'm up to 470 subscribers on YouTube. On the
that's what his
YouTube channel.
That's what he's looking at. He's not interested in the show no more. He's worried about his show.
I know he's like Ole Miss, Ole Miss. This was him. This was him at Rivals. Ole Miss, Ole Miss, Ole Miss, Ole Miss, Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So I get it. You can find Steve at Locked On Ole Miss. Find Jake, Tide Talk Sports, and Best of the West.
And you can
find Jeb right. You can find Jeb right here.
In his face. Come here. In his face.
Yeah. We don't know what the rest of Jeb looks like, but we know what his forehead and his beard look like.
Yeah.
And that chair makes him look like he has long hair. So he kind of has like a meatloaf look to him.
No, he looks like he has Goldberg traps. He looks like a bodybuilder. He might be, actually.
Jake, I thought you pieced out on us there for a second.
I know. I don't know what crap happened.
He turned into the Riddler. You could find me in St. Louis with a gun.
No.
No, you can find me Beast of the East. You find me right here. Find me on the Legal Motion College Football Podcast, which is essentially a seasonal show. We're not recording right now, but you can find me also in Bleav In Georgia Dawgs with Israel. And, of course, right here on SEC After Dark. Hence, we really put the After Dark in After Dark.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, absolutely.
But do you know any other show that's doing this?
I almost say this isn't an SEC show at all.
Yeah.
We talk enough SEC to make it an SEC show.
Well, when there's football on, we
yeah.
We stay busy.
Yeah.
But you can follow all our social media. We're, It's right there.
But,
there
Ole Miss
below.
gets beat by a buzzer beater from half court, and that's our mention of it because Ole Miss is 3-10 in the SEC.
Well, if Georgia was halfway decent at basketball, I'd probably be a little more excited about it, but I'm just not. I'll be excited to know who the coaching candidates are.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit when some coaches get fired. But
Alabama has a big game Saturday against Kentucky at Rupp Arena. So
there you
Can't
go.
believe I'm saying this, but I'm rooting for Alabama.
Roll Tide.
So are all the Kentucky fans.
Georgia, Ole Miss. That's a guaranteed win for Ole Miss.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Ole Miss is about to be 4-10.
I will not say that.
That's gonna be a good game to watch if you want to take a nap.
Have you seen us play, Steve?
Yeah, have you seen us play?
Dude, we look like I'm being dead serious. If you go to my PE class on a free choice Friday,
Y'all beat Alabama.
That's sad.
Yes.
That's really sad, actually. If you come to my PE class on a free choice Friday, right, and you see a 5-on-5 game,
is that next to the Free Love Freeway? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody get
That's
that?
Right. No, I didn't get it, but it sounds fun. That's what we look like. We look like the pickup team that we all stand around the 3-point line and just launch threes and not really do much else.
No. Ole Miss basketball looks like a game that your PE teacher invented that's not even basketball. It might be played with a basketball, but that's what Ole Miss looks like at this point.
Okay, so are you guys saying that us four and, say, Vinny can get on the court and beat Georgia and Ole Miss?
Yes.
No.
No.
Now,
I'm not athletic enough, so
They would send every shot I threw up into the upper deck just because they're taller than me.
My wife, though, I think would win a game of horse against at least 4 players.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe
That is, I am saying that. Yeah, she just said the free throw line and just like, what? This is easy. Here, this is easy.
Let me give you a little perspective here.
I need her to go to Alabama because we can't make a free throw.
Let me give you a little perspective here. Georgia's best 2 players are playing for Kentucky and Auburn, respectively. Severe Wheeler, Katie Johnson. They were Bulldogs last year. Guess what Georgia did last year with those 2?
And Anthony Edwards.
Not a damn thing. We went to the NIT with Anthony Edwards. Accomplished something. Yeah.
And he was the first overall pick or the third or something?
No, first overall pick. The dude is becoming the next league superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's in the conversation now. Like, you mentioned Giannis, Ron. I can't think of anybody else.
Devin Booker,
Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Anthony Edwards. He's in the conversation. I'll tell you who's not in the conversation. James Harden.
I was supposed to say James Harden. Ooh.
What a goon. Guys, it is 10 o'clock Central Time. Whew. We're about 6 hours past Steve's bedtime.
Indeed. My wife's already been asleep, and she's been asleep since 8 o'clock. That'd be 7 o'clock Central.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how she rolls.
Yeah,
She'll listen to this tomorrow and then yell at me about Jeb's audio levels.
Yeah, that was funny.
Get him, Becky.
Heard it was with headphones.
Yeah, she played it on the phone to make me to like pound in the fact that Jeb's audio was messed up, and it turned out her earbud, she only listens on one, and it was on stereo.
Oh, there you go.
Not
Jeez.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, the left channel.
Yeah.
Jeb was coming in the right channel.
Apparently, I'm the only one on the right channel. I don't know.
I would probably be in the right channel as well, but I'm in the actual system.
Jeb comes in the right channel when you need the left, and the left channel when you need the right.
Yeah. Jeb is crafty.
He's crafty.
I just want to make a point that, we had all the issues earlier with Jeb, and he's an IT guy. I mean, come on.
I just got a new computer. No, I've never actually used Firefox before. And apparently, ad blocker thinks y'all are a malicious website. Sorry.
Well, look at our audience.
Yeah.
Do you blame them?
Yeah. They're encircling the Ukraine over here.
Right. Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it.
Beatrice Tracy gonna handle business.
Is that Dick Tracy's mother?
Could be.
I picture her as like a Russian special forces person. That's like catfish, like a big dude, like you see the big Russian villains in movie. That's who I picture Beatrice Tracy actually is.
It's actually Drago. I must break you.
Yeah, exactly.
John, we're still here. You can chime in at any point. Not sure what you're going to chime in on, but you come on.
If you've been watching since 8:45, there's a plethora of topics out there that we've covered.
It's like Jennifer Love huge tits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ryan Nielsen as Vanilla Ice.
Yes.
Rush Baby.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, you need to find that Photoshop and you need to send it my way.
Well, I would gladly do it, but I didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't save it. I just did one after the other and just renamed it in the system.
Becky, it's 8:30 a.m. You need to find that Photoshop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just recreate it.
Yeah. But Becky, that was fun stuff.
Becky, you got homework. All right. You got homework. You got a homework assignment.
A little bit, John.
Probably not 3-4 more years later, it would have gone viral.
Yeah, we always make fun of Auburn, John. We always make fun of Auburn.
Okay, John. What went down tonight was around the league was 3 minutes, Super Bowl 2 minutes, off the rails 2 hours. So it's somewhere in there,
We just cannot help ourselves.
Yeah, we had Ryan Nielsen's story time. We talked about Jennifer Love huge tits.
And her iconic performance in Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah, and apparently Methodists get baptized by sprinkling. We talked about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So when it pours, they get baptized a bunch.
Yeah.
They get all the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Baptists are hypocrites.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Catholics are alcoholics.
Catholics are like the one who's like, oh, no, I can do whatever. I just need to say I'm sorry for it. That's Catholicism.
Yeah.
And that's why they do it. There's so much pressure in the church. They're like, screw it. I'll just say I'm sorry. I'll ask for forgiveness.
My bad.
My bad, Jesus. Toast. Cheers to you, Jesus. I'm going to drink this keg. I repent. Hail Mary.
Yeah, there's a reason people in Louisiana are Catholic. All I'm saying.
Oh, boy. I follow a Cajun dude on TikTok. His name is Stale Cracker. He gives all this like cooking advice.
I wouldn't trust cooking advice from Stale Cracker.
Yeah,
he doesn't really have a good name for cooking advice.
I don't really cook the stuff because I don't have like the big drum. Like he always does like crawfish boils and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to screw that up.
Did some red beans and rice today with some andouille sausage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I never thought I'd see the day where we found a restaurant for you and one not for John Leggett.
Are you talking about Cajun Steamer?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that place was about as mediocre as it gets when it comes to Cajun food. But
it was just like, whoa, this changed my life. But you have to remember, every now and then I'll get red beans and rice from Popeyes just because I want red beans and rice.
Yeah. Now, if you lived in Bellevue, there's a great Cajun place called Voodoo Gumbo. Outstanding. They have the best crawfish etouffee.
That is absolutely correct, John. That is absolutely correct.
Yep, exactly.
And as somebody from I'm from South Mississippi, John, so Cajun food, I grew up with it. Now I didn't grow up like y'all did. But I was able to hit some high points, and it stuck with me my whole life.
Love me some crawfish, John.
Mm-hmm.
Suck the head, eat the tail.
That's right. Get those taters and the corn on the cob and it's good, man.
I'm not a corn on the cob fan.
If you're not careful, the corn on the cob is actually a warning that the crawfish isn't that good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't grow up like I did.
No,
Like
in
I
Louisiana,
lived
John.
the
In Louisiana, John. So that means Cajun cooking is more a part of your culture.
Right.
Mine was on the fringe.
I mean, you can go out and catch your own crawfish, gator, and all that.
Gator po' boys are outstanding too.
Never had gator. Heard it tastes like chicken though.
You don't live far from a swamp.
Yeah. I figured.
Yeah, I had gator. I ate about one day. As a practical joke, my stepfather got gator to try and feed it to me, and I ate him out of about $35 worth of gator. So the joke was on him.
Right. Yeah. I've had a rattlesnake, but never had gator.
Technically, I lived close to a swamp growing up in Georgia, the Okefenokee Swamp.
Ooh, that's where the Addams family went on vacation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Y'all didn't see that coming, did you?
No,
I did not. Did not see an Addams Family reference in your. Did not.
It's
see
gonna
that.
have one in every show.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sold gator tail. It was amazing. Yeah, Georgia was like a barbecue state. So that's me.
That's
Mississippi's
Alabama.
catfish. If you want to know what Mississippi's known for, it's catfish. Catfish is fantastic. You go to a catfish house, it's amazing.
Georgia's barbecue and produce. Peaches.
In North
Florida's down
Mississippi,
here.
Peaches and pecans.
North Mississippi, you get the catfish
It's
and
pecans
the Memphis barbecue.
and pecan pie.
Because Memphis barbecue is the bomb.
In Florida, it's meth. So we're enjoying it down here.
Yeah.
Meth and citrus fruit. That's what
Florida
Florida does.
Florida's awesome. The mask requirement at Disney World goes away tomorrow.
Ooh.
Indoors. And I will be there March 11th with Jeb, and I'll be there April 1st with Becky.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, go to Magic Kingdom.
Steve's wearing his Trump mask though, because
No, I don't. My wife gets mad at me.
And what Florida is also known for is the damn Everglades that has every kind of animal known to exist, living in there. I mean, y'all got damn pythons that's like bigger than my house.
you mean but their pythons are bigger than these. Oh yeah.
18-inch pythons.
Yeah.
Get these 22-inch pythons. Oh yeah.
Roll Tide. Okay.
That was a cross between Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta work on differentiating the two, but it's kind of the same,
Yeah.
It's kind of like
brother.
Let me tell you something here, brother.
Yeah.
You can't escape these 22-inch pythons. What you gonna do when the Hulkster runs wild on you?
And that kind of looked like Scott Steiner. Steve. Yeah. He used to do that.
The big Papa Pump.
Close one.
Big Papa Pump. Yeah.
In college, I invented a drink and called it the Steinerplex.
Oh.
I don't remember what the drink was, but that I did. I remember the name of the drink was a Steinerplex.
Must have been a good drink if you can't even remember it the next day.
Yeah.
But I do remember the
something.
Steinerplex.
I drank something. I called it the Steinerplex. It Steinerplexed me, and
Yes. All I know is I woke up, my neck hurts. I don't remember a thing.
No, I'm wearing a Matt Jones jersey. That's the jersey I got on.
who?
Well, either Matt Jones or 18 was Slade Bolden last year, so whichever one you want to be.
Matt Jones was 10.
Okay, well, it was a Slade Bolden then.
Come on, I know your numbers better than you do. What's up with that?
I'm hung up on my chair. I don't know what.
I am a number savant though.
Jake has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, sorry.
I remember the first time I wore a jersey. It was in high school. It was on a Friday.
Oh, Corey. Get out of here, Corey.
God.
My high school's going away. It won't exist anymore.
Neither will the one I'm teaching at after a year. After one more year.
Hillwood's going away?
Hillwood is gone. We're going to be James Lawson High School.
James Lawson.
We're getting a completely new building.
Where's the new building going to be?
I don't know how familiar you are with Bellevue, but
I used to work over there.
Okay, so if you go down Highway 70, almost to Pegram, there's a big like church park that Metro bought. They leveled the church. It's like I don't know how many acres, but
how close is that to Hillsboro?
Not close at all.
Okay, see, I've got this nailed. Okay.
Yeah, not close at all. Hillsboro got a new building. Well, they built vertically. They built on their same ground. They just like shuffled the staff around and built. They're still building.
Hillsboro is the boroughs, by the way.
That's the boroughs.
Just absolutely ridiculous.
They're jackasses, essentially.
The Hillsboro boroughs.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cass.
Come on, Cassidy.
All right, we need to probably bring this to a close if Cassidy is commenting.
She's gonna come in here with a frying pan.
Seriously,
that's my new thing. She's come in with a frying pan. One of these days, she's actually going to do it. I love you, Cassidy, but
I hope not.
For
my sake, for my well-being.
Yeah, I'm pretty safe. I just don't think she can make this far.
I mean, I was gonna say that'd be entertainment for you guys, but for me, I'd be running for my life.
Yeah, take one for the team, Jake.
Yeah, it'd be quick.
Why don't you take one for the team, Corey?
No, I don't have to.
Okay.
I think Bama in 2022 is going to be really, really good, and Bryce Young is probably the best player in college football.
Bama's always good. Jahmyr Gibbs, Eli Ricks, and they nailed it. They nailed the transfer portal.
The question for Alabama, I hate to do this. I hate to bring this up now. I really do. Yeah, but the problem for Alabama that they're going to have to deal with is, can they play murder ball with Jahmyr Gibbs?
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that Brian Robinson, you can count on and be able to do that. Jahmyr Gibbs can't really do that.
They don't have to with what they're going to have.
But they're going to have to, because they're going to have to replace Jamison Williams. That's a big loss.
Yeah, that is a big loss. But they have other backs, too, that they can close the game.
Chase McClellan and Rodell Williams.
Yeah, we saw them this year, though. We saw what the offense looked like with them. And it was a bunch of one-score games in the SEC.
Yeah.
There's an element that Brian Robinson brings an element to this team that I don't know if this is going to be able to have.
You had Georgia by the balls and you let them go.
Yeah, when Jamison Williams went down against Georgia, that game was over. I don't think Alabama was winning that game with Jamison Williams, but without him, they had no chance.
I think Georgia had a really good game plan for Jamison.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't gonna. I mean, they were just gonna hit Bryce until Bryce just started seeing ghosts. That was the game plan. Just level.
Should have done that SEC championship game, but
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that game plan was.
Yeah.
That game plan was to play him again in the national championship game with a game plan that actually worked.
Yeah.
That game plan was, let's show the world that we're going to give Bama our balls in a jar, and then
take them back.
They unleashed hell on Michigan.
Hey, because of that game, Bryce Young won the Heisman, though. So hopefully y'all got a thank you note.
A Christmas card, at least.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, now that our chat's really fired up, 2 hours into the show, we might
Jeb's about to fall asleep over here. Look at him.
Jamison Williams had over 1,500 yards and was cooking Ringo.
Okay, let's not relitigate the national championship game.
Not. We do that at 8:45 next week.
Yeah. Well, next week we will absolutely talk about Alabama and Georgia if you come back.
Yeah, come on back. We'll
absolutely come back and talk about it. But we're not gonna be able to relitigate it right now.
No. As much as I want to. Anyway,
I know that's the reason I said that.
So we are SEC After Dark.
Damn, I just realized I got about 4 foot of forehead. Anyway,
I mean, we're not off the rails for no reason.
There we go. That's a little better.
Georgia won because of and the problem with that is, I see no problems. Anyway, so we are SEC After Dark with emphasis on After Dark lately.
Yeah,
seriously.
Loosely based on SEC. That shows you how much we love basketball. But anyway, we're going to see you back here next week. Make sure you follow all of us on social media. Find our shows.
For the second time. Tide Talk Podcast, Beast of the East, Best of the West, Locked on Ole Miss, Illegal Motion College Football Podcast, and Bleav In Georgia Dawgs, as well as this one right here. So we're gonna stop it right there. We're gonna see you back here next week for another edition of SEC After Dark. Good night. Have a great weekend. Peace out. Roll
Go Dogs.
And roll tide.
Roll tide, boy.
Roll tide.